Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about Spotify Wrapped. What exactly is it? I'm sure everybody has seen these graphics being posted all over social media. I'm gonna do a walkthrough. I recorded the whole experience. I'll show you how you can find yours. It's pretty simple, but I also will show you how to find it again once you've already watched it, which is oddly not so simple. Well, it wasn't for me. And who knows, maybe we got the same results on some things. Let me know. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Cotton Candy. I am a music festival blogger and content creator. I travel going to a bunch of different music festivals to create vlogs, reviews, and tip videos about all of them, as well as dance and enjoy the music, of course, because I am raver first, YouTuber second. So what exactly is Spotify Wrapped? For those of you who don't have the app and have no idea, or for those of you who just started using the app recently and haven't gotten a Spotify Wrapped before in the past, basically Spotify takes all of the stats and data from all the music you listen to throughout the year in 2021 and puts it in this really fun creative story format that shows you your top listened to artists, songs, genres. It's just a really fun thing Spotify does at the end of every year, and I personally love it so much. I think about it all year long. So how do you even view your Spotify Wrapped? Well, it's very easy. Literally, you just open the app, and if you haven't viewed it before, it should basically be right there in your face. It says big letters 2021 Wrapped, and see how you've listened in 2021, your top artists, songs, and podcasts for the year, and more. However, I do want to highlight that if you watch it again, it does not show up on your app's home screen like this anymore. Once you've already watched your complete Wrapped story all the way through, if you leave the app and come back, it'll probably look a little different. So this is my screen, and I was honestly not really sure how to view the Spotify Wrapped story again, because as you can see, it has this little carousel area that shows your top songs that you listen to, but if you click on that, it actually goes straight to a playlist. So this wasn't as clear to me immediately, but you have to click on the words your 2021 in review, hashtag Spotify Wrapped in small letters, and that will bring you to this screen again where it says see how you listened in 2021. Again, you're gonna wanna click on that. Then it'll play the whole story again for you. So once you click on it, this is how the story starts. I think it took me about 5 minutes to watch the whole story, which I personally think is a really long time. I felt like it could be a lot shorter. Like, I know they're trying to have fun with it, but I felt like there was just too many of these slides where it was just words. I understand they're trying to create an experience, but it was just a little too much reading for me. Like, I wanted to see my results. The first thing it does apparently is make a movie soundtrack based on some of your top songs. And so my opening credits theme was the Feel Good Drag by Anne Berlin. Honestly, one of my favorite songs ever. And then the following song, the song that's playing as you proclaim your love in the rain, my song for that was Tear You Apart by She Wants Revenge. It's not a love song, but it's relevant enough. But again, a very old song that I think is a classic and have been listening to on repeat for 15 years. My last song in this little movie soundtrack setup that they did was the song playing as you face off against your rival dance crew. That song for me was Miles to Go by Cascade for some reason, and honestly, I borderline hate that song, but all year long, it kept playing for me. Like, every time I was listening to a Spotify radio or one of my playlists would end and it would automatically play just a different song, I swear it was always Miles to Go by Cascade. I think that made me dislike it more because I kept disliking it, and I'm like, why is this still showing up? Why is it still automatically playing for me? And now it made it into my Spotify Wrapped, and when I saw that, I was like, then it highlighted how many minutes I actually spent listening to Spotify. 35,101 minutes. I have no idea how many songs that is, but apparently that's more than 86% of other people who listen on Spotify in the United States. But apparently the top #1 song I listened to all year, which is honestly not a surprise to me, was Foolish of Me by Seven Lions, Jason Ross, Crystal Skies, and Jonathan Mendelsohn. It says I listened to it 125 times, which I 100% believe because there were days, weeks where I listened to that song on repeat just that song, nothing else, for 8 hours straight. Till this day, I am not sick of it, and whenever I hear it live at a show, I like lose my shit. You can ask my boyfriend. If I hear it playing at a stage from so far away, I will literally run so I can go hard to this song. So that was my number 1 song, but the other songs on my top 5 were First Time by Illenium, Sideways by Illenium, Shadows, another Seven Lions song, and then Blame Myself, another Illenium song. Can you tell that I really love Seven Lions and Illenium? And then Spotify makes a personalized playlist for you based on the top 100 songs you listen to throughout the year, so you can continue binge listening to all the same songs you've been listening to on repeat aggressively more easily. I listen to my playlist already, and I very much know that I listen to all those songs on repeat, and the whole time I'm listening to the playlist, I'm like, yeah, this is full of bangers. Obviously, it's catered to all my favorite music. If you guys are curious and want to check mine out, I will make it public, and I will link to it in the description of this video. And yeah, also, if you want to follow me on Spotify, I usually make a lot of really fun playlists, and they have a lot of followers now. That's how good some of them are. Not to toot my own horn, but I haven't made any new ones in a while, so I really need to get back into it. Another fun thing in this story is it tells you what your audio aura is, kind of like your emotional aura. And my top music moods were apparently angst and euphoric, which I think is very, very accurate, because if you were to jump into my top 21 songs playlist that I just mentioned, you will notice it is obviously a lot of Illenium, a lot of Seven Lions, a lot of future-based melodic dubstep music, definitely a lot of trance as well, so that's where the euphoric part is coming from. But I also am a huge emo alternative metal fan, so as much as I binge listen to Seven Lions and Illenium, I binge listen to My Chemical Romance and other emo bands just as aggressively. Like, I guarantee you, if you check out that playlist of mine, it is really half euphoria and half angst. Half teen angst. Next in the story, it talks about all the genres you listen to. So apparently I listen to 68 different genres, but these were my top listened to genres. So I listen to pop punk the most, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what I listen to that actually fits into that. Like I said, I listen to a lot of emo music, a lot of alternative music. I never really thought that I listened to pop music that much, but genres are so confusing, so I guess I don't really know. My second most listened to genre is obviously hardstyle, and then trance, drum and bass, and melodic dubstep. If you guys are avid subscribers or followers of mine, you know that this is very accurate. I'm very open about the fact that all of these are my favorite genres. But to be honest, I would say I love hardstyle, trance, drum and bass, and melodic dubstep quite equally. Like, they are very closely tied. But Spotify does say I listen to pop punk the most, and then hardstyle, and then trance, and then drum and bass, and then melodic dubstep. And then they make it a little bit interactive. They make you play a game of 2 truths and a lie. So it tells you 3 different facts about your listening on Spotify in 2021, and you have to guess the lie. And so these were mine. Music was my number 1 podcast topic of the year. That is true. By the way, that logo, Drop Bass Not Bombs, is a podcast about dance music and rave culture that I was actually interviewed on. So there is an episode where the host, Amy, we call her MC Unicorn, where she interviews me about music festivals and EDM. You know, I've gone to festivals all over the world, so she definitely wanted some insight on the difference between US and European events. And also we get into a little bit of serious stuff. We talk about mental health, because I don't know how many of my followers actually know that I struggle pretty severely with some mental illness challenges. I am wearing my To Write Love on Her Arms shirt, so for anyone who actually knows what this means, I'm very supportive of them because of my own experiences that I've had. But yeah, if you want to check out my interview on the Drop Bass Not Bombs podcast, I will link to it in the description of this video so you can check it out. I honestly had a lot of fun with it. Sidetracked, okay, bringing it back. So it lists the 2 truths and a lie. I'm trying to figure out which one's the lie, right? The second bubble is that my number 1 Spotify playlist of the year was Release Radar. Third bubble was the song you binge listened to the most was Missing You by All Time Low. And I think this is a low effort crappy game, because literally a couple slides before it told me my most listened to song was Foolish of Me by 7 Lions, and so I knew this one was obviously The Lie. And then it congratulates you for quote unquote knowing yourself, for picking out the lie that it basically handed to you. Finally, we're gonna get into your top listened to artists. So it says that I listened to 1,789 different artists, but my number one listened to artist of the year was Illenium, of course. I'm a huge stan, and apparently I was in the top 1% of his listeners this year, which is definitely a jump because last year I was in the 0.5% of his listeners. So that's a huge jump. And then these are the other 4 of my top artists. 7 Lions very closely behind Illenium, of course, My Chemical Romance, Sub Focus, and Amberlynn. Illenium, 7 Lions, My Chemical Romance, and Amberlynn are literally my top DJs every single year that they do Spotify Wrapped. There's always maybe one that is different. So this year, Sub Focus was my odd one out. Last year, Above and Beyond was my odd one out. The year before, Darren Styles was my odd one out. But my list basically stays the same every year, and that just tells you that I literally listen to the same music on repeat constantly every day of my life, and I'm not sick of it yet. Like My Chemical Romance, I have been listening to all their music on repeat since like the early 2000s, and I'm not sick of it. I have playlists with the complete discography of Illenium, the complete discography of 7 Lions, and the complete discography of My Chemical Romance and Gerard Way, and I will just listen to those playlists on repeat aggressively for weeks or days at a time. I really think that I might be one of 7 Lions' top listeners as well. I've got to be in his top 0.1% or 0.5%. It's just that I listen to him so much. I listen to Illenium and 7 Lions so much. They've got to be so close. I really want to know what the stats are for my listening to 7 Lions. I wish they would tell you what percentile you're in for all 5 of your top artists, but they don't. They only tell you where you rank for your first top artist. And then Spotify puts together these really cute graphics, this summary of your Spotify Wrapped story. So your top 5 artists, top 5 songs, minutes listened, and your top genre. And it shows a few different versions, so you can choose whichever one you want to share. And if you click that share button, it allows you to share directly to Instagram, or you can download it, or you could do what I did was when you watch the story, I took screenshots of all of the different things and I posted them individually. So like I reposted my emotional aura of angst and euphoric, and actually one of my best friends had the exact same one, which I think is so funny. My final review of Spotify Wrapped this year for 2020 is that I did like what they did with their story better last year for 2020. I thought this year was just too long. I understand they're trying to make an experience, but it was just a lot of reading, a lot of words. It wasn't as fun as last year's. The emotional aura was cool, but last year they put like your DJ and top songs in the form of your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign, and I'm like really into astrology, so I thought that was really fun. The whole movie soundtrack thing this year, I didn't really love it, but either way, I appreciate it. It's always fun to check out your Spotify Wrapped. I look forward to it every year. It's literally one of the best parts about a year ending. Like I said, I will link to my top 100 listened to songs, that Spotify playlist that it auto curated for me, in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Definitely let me know in the comment section what your results were and what you thought about Spotify Wrapped this year. I will also link to that Drop Bass Not Bombs podcast episode with my interview in it if you want to check that out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you get notified anytime I post really awesome EDM rave festival videos. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys again for watching, and until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts.